Well, that right there was music from Africa by Divine Carlslin, and she is joining me this morning as we talk about nurturing of children's talent. Also today, I am joined by Dr. Sarah Muwanguzi, and she is a counselor at Pink B Foundation. First of all, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Okay, that was lovely music, Divine. I need to understand, first of all, what prompted you to come up with this particular beautiful piece?
What prompted me to come up with this particular music is that I like Africa, and Africa is so nice. All the green plants, the animals, so we wanted to do it, like to make a song about Africa.
Okay, that's beautiful. And I know among the talents and among the things that you do is that you sing. Of course, we have seen you singing, you dance, you model as well. I remember you're among the contestants and you did get an award at the Hair and Beauty Expo, and you also took part in the Bride and Groom Expo. What was the experience like for you? Do you think you were supported?
Yes, I was supported by a lot of people. I was liked and I was well known. Yeah.
Okay, so back to you, Miss Dr. Sarah Muwanguzi. You are the counselor at Pink B Foundation. First of all, it's very important that we understand, because I'm sure the viewer out there could probably not know what Pink B Foundation is all about. So what is your mandate, and briefly tell us what it's all about?
Oh, thank you very much. Pink Bee, it's a foundation that deals with kids and teens.
Okay.
We normally focus so much on children and developing their talents, as well as mentoring them to become good citizens.
Okay.
Yep.
So what challenges have you experienced when it comes to nurturing children's talent? Would you say as a country we have evolved and we are able to support our children to fully maximize their potential in regard to talent?
Yeah, as Pink Bee Foundation, we do a lot of things, including music, dance. As we develop children's talents, we go out to schools, different schools in Uganda, and we get in touch with their teachers as we try to bring out their talents and helping them to develop them.
Okay, that is absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
I'll go back to you, Divine. I'm sure you are a school-going child. How are you able to balance the two? Because even today, as we are talking about nurturing children's talents, and I understand that some parents' concern is the fact that they fear that, you know, our children may not be able to balance these extracurricular activities with their school work. So Divine, hearing from you, how are you able to balance the two?
Well, when it's school time, I concentrate on my books,
Okay.
and I'm good at everything in class. And when it's my time to showcase my talent, I concentrate on that.
Okay,
So
and
it's-
have your parents also been supportive towards that?
Yes, very supportive.
So what word of advice would you give to someone that is watching you this morning that also would like to be like you, but they're unable to balance school at the same time balance their social activities that they do?
Well, you have to, if you want to be like me, you have to be concentrative at the time. Like, if it's time for studies, you have to study, and if it's time for your talent, your free time, you have to concentrate on your talents.
Okay, when I grow up, I definitely want to be like Divine. So back to you, Dr. Mwanguzi. In the aspect of balancing, you know, extracurricular activities as well as our talents, that is a concern that very many parents have, and I'm sure even as a counselor, that is something that you face now and again. So how do the two go in hand? How can a parent and also a child balance the two?
Yeah, it's a two-way traffic.
Okay.
It's the responsibility of the parent and the child as well.
Yes.
You as a child, as an individual, you need to know what you want, as well as the parents need to be very supportive to you. In most cases, what happens, like a child might have a talent or might love to develop their talent, yet the parents don't want. And in the long run, you find that children tend to fail in such a way that their talents are not being developed because their parents haven't been supportive to them.
So then the question would be, how can a parent be supportive towards a child's talent? For example, a child wants to do soccer, and there is probably no soccer man, no soccer woman in their family, or a child wants to be a musician, but I mean, the parent is a doctor, the dad is a doctor, the mother is a lawyer probably, then the rest of the children have probably taken on white-collar jobs, but this young lady here is saying, no, my talent is singing, I want to be a musician. So how would a parent attack this particular conversation?
That's when Pink Bee comes in.
Okay.
Like, we talk to the parents once we discover that the child has a talent, and we support, like we go in schools and support them. When their parents see that the children are being supported and their talents are being uplifted, some parents have resorted to our side, like they have started seeing like counseling, singing, and they admire their children as well to develop their talents.
That's beautiful. Divine, I'm sure that you have come across a number of, you know, children as, you know, you went about doing, you know, showcasing your talent, which is an amazing thing. So looking at them, I'm sure you've had conversations with them. Would you say that in our country, Uganda, we support talent of children?
Yeah, not so much, because some children's talents are let down by the parents. Like, the parent can be like, when I let her have her freedom,
Yes.
like when I let her have her talent, she won't concentrate on what I want her to be. Like, I've been here listening to you, you've been like, parents do want children to do what they want them to do. Like, I like mathematics, but what if my mom wants me to become something else?
Oh,
like,
you love math. I hated
Yeah.
math. I still hate it, but let's proceed. Okay.
So, like, let me assume, like, my mom wants me to become something different from what I want. It's
Yes.
like you're just doing it for them. So, let parents leave their children to do what they want and what they can do. Because lots of children have a lot of talents, and sometimes studies may not benefit you in future, but your talent will benefit you.
Okay, so back to you, Dr. Mwangozi. Let's take a look at the Ugandan education system, or Uganda as general, or Africa as a continent, because in the Twitter jabs, the first session we had, I read the statistics and said only 4% of the children living within the African continent are able to, you know, live up to their talent and live their childhood dream. Why do you think this is so?
I think it is so because we do not discover our children's talent when they are still young.
Oh, yes.
I'm a parent, but right now I'm watching my children, and I'm seeing them developing some talent. So it's my responsibility to begin now as they are still young. That is what sometimes our parents do. They don't really see the talents as early as possible so that they can develop the talents up to the end.
Okay, so how about in an aspect where a parent or guardian is just not comfortable with the kind of, you know, skills and talents the child has showcased? For example, I've had African parents who say, you want to model? No, that is, you know, that is very vulgar. You cannot be a model. You're showcasing your body. But again, if you're modeling for a clothing line and the clothing line is supposed to depict what you're wearing, that comes in handy. So how would a parent handle a talent that a child has that they're not comfortable with?
I think the parents themselves have to really let go, because a talent is individual. Everyone has a talent, like God has given us different talents. So you don't need to force me to enjoy your talent. I have a different talent, you have a different talent. So me, I would just support or encourage you to do your part, and I do my part as a parent.
As a parent as well.
Yes.
Divine, like we have mentioned already, you're a singer, you are a model, you know, you have participated in a number of beauty expos as well as wedding expos. I would like to understand, when it comes to pursuing your talent, first of all, when did you realize that this is something you wanted to take on, that modeling was something you wanted to take on, that singing was something you wanted to take on?
Well, modeling and singing aren't my talents. My talent is dancing.
Okay.
So I just dance. Actually, I really dance more than modeling and singing. But it's also good to bring in something else. Like, you're good at this thing, but you're also having something that is fun, but you're not good at it. It's good to learn it and enjoy it. So I like modeling, so I entered in modeling.
An added advantage, you sing, then you dance, and then you model. But then what happens, is there a possibility that you might actually get bored of this particular talent? Because I've come across children, 1 minute they want to be a model, and then the parent is being supportive, and then they get into being a teenager and they're tired of modeling, they want to get into singing, and then the parent is a bit confused, how should I follow this? So in the aspect of, you know, losing interest in your talent, how would you advise someone that is watching you this morning?
The last question, I've not understood.
Well, we are looking at children losing interest in their talent or losing interest in what they used to do best. For example, I'll give you an example. I interact with a young girl, she's called Melissa. When I first got to know her, she liked modeling. About 2 years after that, we continued talking, and I met her and she said, no, Shivan, I don't want to model anymore, I want to sing. And I'm like, okay, so we are moving from modeling. I now have to support you in the singing career. Then she gets into teenagehood and she says, no, I want to act. I want to go on Yugawood. And I'm like, okay, you need to decide on a talent. So, of course, before I pose it to the cast, I would like to understand from a child's perspective, when it comes to losing interest in a talent, where do you think it stems from, and how would one handle that?
Well, as children, we get tired of things at a time.
Yes.
Like, you do things, then you reach a stage like, this
And
is
boring.
so boring. So kids, when parents should just move on with it.
Okay.
So, because if a kid just gets tired of it and goes to another thing, a parent should look, like, when she goes in this thing, what are the benefits?
Yes.
What is she going to benefit from it? Like, I can get bored of singing, then I say, like, I want to act. But singing has been giving me like it has been teaching me very different things. But now I'm tired, now I'm going to acting. You have to look now, if she goes for acting, I'm going to be paying this and she's going to be earning this. And you see, what I'm going to be paying, is it so much than what she's going to earn in? So if it's the earning is so much, then you can just go with that.
How old are you? Are you comfortable with sharing your age on air, first of all?
Yes.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 12.
Well, for a 12-year-old, the way you're comparing, you know, money payment is absolutely wonderful. I think Pink Bee Foundation is doing an amazing job. But thank you so much, Divine. And now back to you, Doctor. In the aspect of, you know, children losing interest in their talents, how would a parent handle that?
Well, I would suggest that if you really see that your child is losing interest in a particular talent, thank God we have different talents. You develop another one, because in most cases, children do not only have one talent, or you do not only have one talent, or I do not only have one talent.
Yes.
So when you see another talent fading, you try as much as possible to raise up another talent, because you never know, he might not succeed in academics, and then he goes through out with the talent.
That is true. So for a parent that is watching this morning, of course, you know, we are talking about nurturing a child's talent, and like Divine has mentioned, you know, it's very important to have extra additional talents. But how would a parent be able to know that, you know what, my little girl Shivan, I think is good, is talented, is a talented singer, or my little girl Shivan is very good at building things. So how would a parent be able to identify a talent in a child?
That takes us back to child to mother relationship, or family and family relationship. You find that sometimes we don't get enough time with our children. Sometimes we don't even interact with our children.
Yes.
Me, I'm a counselor, and I've realized that when we go out in the schools there, children have a lot of questions that they would even have asked their mothers, but the mothers have no time. The father do not have time to share with their young boys and young girls. So it goes back to the parents still. Watch your children from the word go until that time they leave maybe your home. Not only even that, because even right now, my mother is still watching over me.
Okay.
Yeah.
To a parent, you are always a child to your parent. Even at 30, I mean, my dad is 40 plus years, but my grandmother still calls him and says, "Are you home?"
Yes.
It's beautiful. So what is the Pink Bee Foundation? Because you know you're a counselor at Pink Bee Foundation. What have you done when it comes and in regard to nurturing and supporting children's talents here in Uganda?
That's what we normally do. We go in schools,
Okay.
discover their talents, and we help support them and develop their talents. And we normally have we recently had a music show in the National Theatre.
National Theatre, okay.
Yeah, and we got over 8 schools came and participated, and people presented in different songs, dance, drama. So that helps develop their talents.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So as we wrap up the conversation, of course, I'm not going to forget, because due to public demand, I have been requested, you know, Divine must give us an a cappella. But as you prepare yourself, I don't know if you did a banana or two, what word of advice, still again, would you give to children, first of all, who are trying to pursue their talents and they're not being supported, but also what word of advice would you give to the parents watching you this morning?
Well, I'll start with the parents.
Okay.
The parents, you're doing a very bad thing. You're doing a very bad thing, because you might see like your child has a very good talent, and you're like, I don't care if she has a good talent. I told her to go and study. I don't care. She's going to more benefit in studies. But what if, okay, God forbid, what if your child is not good at anything in class? What will she be good at? So we should really look at that part, that our children have to be given a platform for their talents. And children, if you have a talent, never give up. You should practice until you're perfect, and until your mom sees that, or your dad or your guardian sees that you're very perfect. She'll get also her the morale that, okay, she's perfect, I can help her do this, I can help her do that. But if you're like, you're singing, then you say, my mom is not even caring about it, let me just leave it, then you leave. That is not a good thing. She'll be like, even who I'm helping, she's not even caring about it. She's not even having that thing, like the morale that she has to sing. So you have to be focused until she sees. Even if what, you have to be patient until she sees that you are a good singer or you're a good actor, whatever your talent is.
Okay, so Divine, apart from singing, modeling, and the talents that we have mentioned, also according to the title that when I read out your ambassador, Pink Bee Foundation, how is that working out for you?
Pardon?
The ambassador role as the ambassador of Pink Bee Foundation, how is that working out for you? Like, are you enjoying it? What are you required to do, briefly?
Well, I go to school to talk to the children how to respect their parents, their teachers, and how to do house chores, because children don't want to do house chores, and this life is so hard when they don't know how to do house chores.
Absolutely.
And what if your mom is not there with you? What will you do?
Okay.
Will you just leave what you've eaten with that side? Who will cook for you? So
it's important.
They have to do house chores. And I also sing. I dance. Last time we had the show, School Beat Show at the National Theatre. Children came with a lot of things. I advised them, like, they were free, and I was also free. I liked them.
Okay, how about the Divine Sisters? You seem to be the lead singer. How is that going out for you?
Well, I love singing, I dance, and I am so respected at school, because people are like, this girl is a singer and this girl is a dancer. So those things of music, concerts, I kind of sing, I dance, and then I get money.
When you were talking, your counselor from Pink Bee Foundation was beaming ear to ear. I can definitely see that she's proud of the product that she has released out. Well, back to you, Dr. Sarah, taking a look at some of the interventions, of course, words of advice to the parents and children, but also government at large, the education ministry. Has it done enough, and what interventions do you think they need to put in place so as to support and nurture our children's talents?
First of all, I'll request, this is a humble request to all our parents, that never force your child to do what they do not want. For example, if you're a medical personnel, do not force your child to become a medical personnel because you are. If you're a politician, do not force your child to become a politician.
Tell them, they're listening.
If you're a teacher, if you're a teacher, do not force your child to become a teacher, because there are some people who love, like, if the family is for teachers, everybody should be a teacher. That is wrong. I might be coming from a family who has, which has teachers, but I'm not interested to be a teacher. So that is a humble request to the parents. Okay. Please let your children do what they feel like. Your responsibility as a child, as a parent, is to support them and invest in them
as well.
Invest in them, because if you look at her, a lot has been invested in her. She wouldn't be here if there was no investment. Yes. And my appeal to the government or to the educational sector, that they really, I'm glad the curriculum has a little bit changed. But during those times when we were at school, we used to study only academics. We were focused like this. But here comes a time when you are like a senior 4 leaver, but you can't do anything. But I'm glad the curriculum has changed now, and our government is trying as much as possible to set up extra curriculum. That, for example, if you are in P7, you can do as well tailoring. If you have like done your senior 4, you can do as well as building. Okay. You can do catering alongside with your academics up to university level. Yes. So my appeal to the parents and the government as well, is to encourage extracurricular
activities, which are very important.
Very important.
Okay.
Yes.
Now back to you, Divine, and of course, as we close the show, we'll end with you giving us an a cappella, and then we shall sign out. So the floor is yours. Now is your time to shine. I'm sure this is something that you're used to. Please blow the audience away.
I'm going to give you a song that I love, and the song that I composed with my sister, as you've seen on the video.
Oh, that's your sister?
Yeah,
okay.
She's my sister. She's called Crystal Divine, and I'm going to sing for you, and it's a very good song. Music from Africa, greetings from Africa, love from Africa, praises from Africa. We come from Uganda, the pearl of Africa. We come from Uganda, the pearl of Africa. Listen to the African rhythms. Listen to the African voices. It's in music where we find our joy. It's the joy that we share with you.
Oh, wow, that has been amazing. Well done, Divine. So now let me ask, of course, among the things that you mentioned, you were balancing books in there at the beginning of the conversation. So now let me ask, how are you able to properly handle the money or the finances that you get from the talent that you do?
Well, the finances that I get, the money, I get some, and I keep for myself, then I give my mom.
Okay.
Then we can help other people, like we can help other people to give them platform. Like we have helped a lot of people. Like there's a girl who had a talent of dancing.
Yes.
She dances with us.
Okay.
And she had not known that she had it. She was in our school, so when we brought her to dance, she danced extremely very well, so we helped her. My mom helps her, and I also help her by the money I get.
Okay, that is really beautiful. That's a lovely thing to do. So back finally, Dr. Sarah, looking at the aspect of handling finances, especially for these young talents, how should parents go about it?
Since it's the children that earn the money after practicing or doing something and they're being awarded. First of all, I'll suggest that the children should enjoy that money themselves. And the parents as well, because remember the investment, the parents put a lot.
I thought when you invest because you want the child to do well. Now, is it a payback time?
No, it's not a payback time.
Of course, I'm joking, yes.
and that the investment I'm talking about, it's not like a payback kind of thing.
Yes.
But it's like you keep in stock. Like if there is need, the parents just get that investment and work on that need.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Divine, and of course, Dr. Sarah, for joining us this morning. It has been an absolutely amazing conversation. But before I sign out, I'll speak to you, Divine, and I know that you are going places. I have interacted with very few children that are as brilliant as you, and I hope for you the sky will not be the limit.
Yes.
Okay, well, this was a conversation that we're having on the Twitter Jabs, and today we're looking at nurturing of children's talent. Now, I'll leave you with a favorite line in a song that was sung by Lily Mayola, and it's called Daydream. She said, if it ain't big enough, this is your dream. If your talent or your dream is not big enough, if it doesn't scare the hell out of you, if it does not make you nervous, then it's probably not worth it. Your dream should be enough to scare you and make you nervous. Then that is something that you should definitely go for. Well, that wraps up the conversation that we had for you this morning on the Twitter Jabs. I hope that you were able to pick a thing or two, of course, from the children's perspective, from a parent and guardian's perspective, as well as looking at government intervention. Otherwise, we do thank you for being a part of this particular conversation. Do stay tuned, because up next on Our Views, Priva Elibas asks the questions, and we are looking at the psychological impact of cheating. Yes, today is a Friday. We are calling out all the cheaters, all those who are planning to cheat over the weekend. Please do stay tuned and watch this particular conversation. This is Sunrise at Sea. Good morning.